What if William Afton made Circus Baby for Elizabeth with the intent for Circus Baby to kill her? Like, that's why he programmed it the way he did. This theory is completely dependent on whether you think William Afton is a caring parent, and for this theory, I really think that there really isn't any time in the game that explicitly confirms that William cares about anyone besides himself. And it's possible that William does care to some extent about at least Crying Child and Elizabeth. I think the biggest pieces of evidence people use for him being a caring parent is that the whole Fredbear plush thing, following Crying Child everywhere and talking to him, and the fact it possibly says, "I will put you back together," is one of the big ones. And then the fact that the building where Elizabeth gets killed gets closed down right away as well. But here's the thing. In every other media format that we have of FNAF, whether it be movies or books, William Afton does not care about his kids. He only cares about them as they relate to helping him further his own goals. That's true in the Theorize trilogy, it's true in the FNAF movie, and it seems to be true in the games as well. When Elizabeth talks to him asking about Circus Baby and why she can't see it, he won't even talk to her. It seems like he's not even acknowledging her existence. It's almost like she's just talking to herself, already knowing the answers, but mentally deciding whether she's going to follow through on it. It's almost like William knows this. He's a very manipulative character. But there's also another side of him. I just want to bring up the trilogy, the original FNAF book trilogy, their version of how the events played out. And one of the descriptions of William Afton in it, it mentions that he would strike out against others and revel in their pain, feeling righteously that the world owed him his cruel pleasures. And there's more to it than that, obviously, but it's just such a "I deserve this" type of mindset. And so if William killed Elizabeth on purpose, in William's mind, he isn't killing his daughter since she's disobeying him. It's almost like he uses her disobedience as a weird form of self-assurance that it's okay because I didn't technically do it. She didn't listen to me, and so this is the consequence. This is the punishment. And regardless, I deserve to be able to work on my experiments because everyone owes me. So in this cruel twist of fate that I, William, am experiencing, I'm going to use my daughter's death for good. And I know that's kind of, exaggerating it a bit, but it could be a similar mindset that he has. And if he merges his daughter with an animatronic that he's programmed ahead of time, it will benefit him much more greatly than the other animatronics. Or if it's before those animatronics, it's like his own personal experiment. It really depends on where you would put Elizabeth's death in the timeline to further determine what you think William Afton's specific motive was for killing his daughter. He wants to keep experimenting. He wants to merge his daughter with an animatronic that he's programmed ahead of time that will want to work for him. It's a perfect win for William. He has an animatronic working for him, but it has the benefits of being Elizabeth, who instead of being a nuisance to him now, will be doing things that he wants her to do. He can easily manipulate her now because he knows that all she wants is to be adored by him. So it works perfectly because he can keep having her do things to try and win his love. And it's never going to happen. And if this is what's happening, it's a very similar scenario to how the book story plays out, where Elizabeth does get his attention, but he literally just hits her before going back to his work because he doesn't want a child. He wants his projects to succeed. He only cares about his success and his life. She doesn't matter. She's just one more thing he can manipulate to get what he wants. So even though she's not getting what she wants, she's still willing to keep doing things for him in order to one day receive that love that she so desperately needs. But the other thing is, if he did program Circus Baby this way, then it really explains why Baby is on board with William's goals in FNAF 6. He already knows what she wants from him, and so now he can easily abuse it to get what he wants instead, but keep her doing his bidding, getting her on board with his program, so to speak. So let's listen to what Scrap Baby says in FNAF 6, right before Henry gives his speech.
You played right into our hands. You gathered them all together in one place, just like he asked you to. Now we can do what we were created to do and be complete. I will make you proud, Daddy.
But then Henry cuts her off and begins speaking. I'm afraid you've been misinformed. You are not here to receive a gift, nor have you been called here by the individual you assume, although you have indeed been called. This is pointing us back to this idea that Elizabeth was assuming that she was speaking to William Afton, trying once again to please him. So even though Henry directed her towards a lie, she assumed that she was going to make her dad proud, finally. the one thing she always has wanted. But no, again, she's been misinformed, just like William always did. And so on a side note, that may even give us a little more insight into Henry's relationship with William before their friendship turned sour. It's possible they knew their families quite well. So having this insight into Elizabeth and William's relationship gave Henry the leverage he needed to be able to lure them both to the location. And it's like, there's more things we could argue for and against it, but I just kind of want to throw it out there more as a concept, not necessarily as a theory, just another one of the classic what ifs. So thank you for listening. Thank you for your time. Thank you for any likes or subscriptions. Appreciate it all. It really helps.